And in the morning, about 6:30 to 7, you're woken up by platoons of day laborers with blowers and weed whackers on lawns everywhere on Still River. There seems to be no end to lawn crews, but there is a big difference. In the town near Still River, over to the west, is more upscale. It's a town you like to go walk up and down the main street just to make believe that you live there. They say that even the fireflies pay taxes there, and they fly in formation and have different colored lights in sequence. There's a big difference in lawn care between the two towns. In Still River, you'll see a cardboard sign tacked up on a telephone pole. It'll say Bob's Lawn Mowing and Snow Plowing with a phone number. That's it. And in the town next to Still River, the upscale town, you'll see these big white trucks, or lime green colored, brand new, with these big caged in trailers attached to the back with neat rows of lined up on each side of the caged trailer of leaf blowers and weed whackers with 3 or 4 big custom riding mowers in the trailer. And there'd be like 2 squads of workers in white or day-glowed custom jumpsuits with custom caps with the name of the company on the side of the truck. You'd see in big gold leaf or very distinctive hand-designed lettering. It looked like it'll say Lawn Coiffeurs, Distinctive Estate and Grounds Care. So there you go. The difference is clear. Another thing in Still River, and like a lot of small American towns, especially ones that have lasted through the century before the last century, was the old hardware store. Every town had to have one. And they were something else. We had one. It had like grooved, bumpy wood floors, barnwood floors, and old wood unfinished counters with glass rails with little cubby holes for everything imaginable, racks of tools hung up on the wall in order, hammers from big to small all in a line, and tools you couldn't even describe, and custom-made ones. And they would sell feed. They would sell feed for your horse or cow or cattle, which you don't see. You don't see that nowadays in the chain. You go to your local Home Depot store and you got a high school kid pushing, a rack of light bulbs around to stock him, and you ask him where something is, and he tells you aisle 8, or something, and he shuffles on his way with a drink in one hand, pushing the cart. But when you came in contact with the old hardware guy at the hardware store, you were in for it for the day, because you went into the old hardware. They had everything and stuff you couldn't even name. If you wanted, butterfly flange thread, brass, tapered screws with, recessed seating heads, he would get it for you. But before he would ask you what you were doing. Do you have a plan? Why are you doing it this way? no, you need to do it the other way. You would say, I want some duct tape. And he goes, why do you want the duct tape? What are you doing? And he'd look at you over his little bifocal glasses with blue eyes that could stare through steel. He looked right into your soul. And he knew right away whether you were a weekend, jerk or a person that did, actual work. And he would look at you and squint his eyes and say, what are you doing with the duct tape? Well, I'm going to fix a crack in a pipe that's leaking downstairs. And he'd look at you like you were a complete moron. And he would say, no, what you really need to do, that won't hold. The glue on the duct tape, the water will just rot it away after a short time, and it would just, wouldn't work. And he would proceed to draw a plan for you on this pad he had hanging off this belt on his pants, which had unnameable utensils on them. He would pull a pencil, a real carpenter's pencil, from this unbelievably overfull pocket protector, which would make a nerd blush. It had things in it like little rulers and calipers and other little things with little attachments on it, on pen-sized utensils, which were unnameable. And he would show you where to cut the pipe 3 inches above the crack and 3 inches below. And he would say, bring in that piece of pipe. And we'd tell you how to cut it. The saw blade, you would need a type of saw teeth on the saw blade. And, he would tell you what angle to cut at. And but he would make sure to tell you to turn the water off to your house first in the main line. Then you would come back and you would have to go right to him. You would ask for, Clayton or, whatever his name was. Usually he had this old-time name. And he would shuffle out in his work pants and a khaki shirt and look at the pipe to see if you cut it right. Then he would go in the back and hear this banging around and shuffling and stuff. He would come out with a little box with a bunch of stuff in it. And he would say, here, you take this cap threader and thread each end of the pipe. And you go home, you take this cap threader and thread the other ends of the pipe. Here are the double cap sleeves that go over to attach the new piece of pipe, which I am going to have custom cut for you. And he would draw out on the pad how you would do it with the inches and the arrows and everything. And that was the hardware store in Still River. Again, irrational exuberance is rampant. There's reports of people wandering away from home, being found down south a couple months later playing a banjo on the street. And wild animals are experiencing this also. We're getting like the Alzheimer's moose and deer. And a bear came down last spring and took up residence across from the town hall, the tree. And they had DEP there and everybody. And it wasn't a big bear. It was just a small bear, a little black bear. And he was up in the tree there, just curled up. And they were trying to figure out how to get him down in a very, unintrusive way. And they just backed off and left some food down. He came down about 3 or 4 hours later, nosed around, saw the food, and kind of just gobbled it up. And ambled away, probably went over to the next town where they leave the doggy bones and dog biscuits outside of their flowered storefronts